Blossom, should we combine the Paralympics with the regular Olympics? Have them all compete with each other?
All right, folks, buckle up, because this one is wild. Piers Morgan is debating a completely unhinged trans activist named Blossom. And, no joke, this person actually argues that the 2026 Olympics should be gender neutral. You can't make this stuff up. Riley Gaines jumps in to hit Blossom with facts, and of course, Blossom just screams conservative propaganda like it's a get-out-of-jail-free card. Let's dive in, break down this insanity, and have a good laugh.
Brings me to my question, which you haven't answered, Blossom, which is why do we separate the sexes in the Olympics?
I'm not an Olympian.
Oh.
I don't play sports.
You don't know why we separate the sexes?
I think what you're saying is conservative propaganda. I think what you're saying is conservative propaganda.
Conservative propaganda.
That you're able
I asked you why we separate. I asked you why we separate the sexes.
Off of that.
Why do we separate the sexes?
Oh, this is rich. Blossom can't answer the most basic question, so instead they try to flip it around and accuse Riley and Piers of creating a platform off of biology. Yeah, because apparently understanding reality is now some right-wing grift. What's next? Saying gravity is a Republican talking point? It's just science. There's a reason we separate the sexes in sports, because biology exists. But to Blossom, acknowledging that is conservative propaganda.
Again,
why do we have the Olympics
when we talk about trans people, when we talk about trans people, we're talking about gender identity. I need both of y'all mindset to become more expansive.
Right.
I know that's a little hard for
Can you answer my question?
Because both of you have
Can you answer my question?
I understand that's hard for both of y'all.
Can you answer my question?
Can
you answer my question?
Again, when we talk about trans people, we're talking about gender identity. We're not just focused on sex.
That's not my question.
That what y'all like to do is reduce conversations down to sex.
What you all like to do.
And you try to apply it to what's happening in the Olympics, okay?
And I'm asking you a very...
play in sports.
And I'm asking
trans women should participate in
the Olympics. The next Olympics. The next Olympics. Okay, Blossom.
Is spreading misinformation.
Blossom, I don't want to have to mute you again.
Conservative propaganda that should not be.
Okay, the next Olympics will be in America, in Los Angeles. I'll ask you one more time. Why do we separate the sexes in the Olympics? Why do we have men and women competing separately? Give me an answer.
Well, Piers, won't you tell me the answer since I don't know?
You don't know the answer? Oh, Riley's got a hand up. Riley,
Riley,
why don't you educate? Why don't you educate
tell
Blossom?
Me the answer since I don't know.
Riley, why do we separate the sexes in the Olympics?
Because men and women are different. We have different physical ceilings. It's the same reason why you have any category. It's the same reason why we have the Paralympics versus the Olympics. It's the same reason why we have weight classes in boxing. We don't have weight classes in boxing because we are fat shaming people who weigh more. No, we have weight classes because it would be unfair. We know the outcome. Every single person, kindergartners, know the outcome of what would happen if we had a 220-pound man fight a 170-pound man. It's the same reason why we have age divisions. We don't have 12 and unders or Pee-wee leagues.
That. What if that 220-pound, wait, what if that 170-pound man has the agility to beat that 220-pound man? That makes no sense.
So you want to base all of the Olympics off of exceptions?
Your answer makes no sense. That makes no sense. Y'all don't know anything about somebody's biochemistry.
It makes sense
biology. You do not know.
Of common sense.
You do not know, Riley. I'm sorry. You absolutely do not know about somebody's biology.
You just admitted you're not an athlete.
Chemistry is
you
made
admitted
differently.
That you have never competed at the highest level.
And see, this is the thing. I don't have to be an athlete to talk about this because this affects my community.
But you just said you couldn't answer because you're not an Olympian.
All right, you know what we're going to try? Why don't we try? Okay. Can we please stop talking at the same time? If you talk at the same time, Blossom, if you talk, Blossom, if you talk at the same time, nobody can hear either of you, okay? So, Blossom, let's start with you again. A simple question. I'll tell you why they separate the sexes, just as Riley has. It's because men have a physical advantage over women, which would mean that women would not win more than a handful of medals in the entire Olympics. Would you be happy if it was a gender-neutral Olympics?
Why are we...
Hang on.
Why
Answer
are we
my
saying
question.
This about women, though?
Answer my question.
Women are just as strong as men.
Oh my God, we've reached peak delusion. I love how Blossom just confidently throws this out there like it's some profound truth. Women and men are equal in value, sure, but in physical ability? Yeah, no. That's why we don't see female linebackers in the NFL, or women crushing world records in the 100-meter dash against men. Like, come on, you don't need a PhD to understand this.
I'm asking you.
I'm sorry. Women are just as strong as men.
So
women
just to
are
be
just
clear,
as powerful as men.
Okay.
And I don't believe that.
Okay, Blossom.
That's just your opinion.
So Blossom,
that's not always fact.
Blossom, if the world #1 tennis player,
I don't buy it.
Okay, you know that Serena Williams admits that she would be beaten by the top 1,000 men in the world at tennis, right? You know that, do you?
No, I did not.
You did not know that. So
you
don't know why men and women get separated in the Olympics?
I would like to read those receipts.
Both Serena and Venus Williams lost.
Are you waving them? Are you waving them around?
What?
You can look it up to the 203rd ranked male player. He drank in between sets, smoked in between sets, and played 18 holes of golf before, and admitted that he played like a 600 male ranked player. And they lost in a blowout, and they are phenoms, the best of the best. No other woman for a while even could come close to them, and they got beat by a man. Let me repeat it. In a blowout, the 203rd ranked male player who admitted he played like a 600 ranked player, drank, smoked between sets, and played 18 holes of golf.
Blossom, just to be clear, would you want the American Olympics, the LA Olympics, would you want them to be gender neutral, where the sexes compete with each other?
Absolutely. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think
Okay,
long as
do you also believe
of
it's
trans
completely
women
insane
and trans men and non-binary
Do you
people,
also believe
then yes,
that we should
why not?
combine
And there it is, full mask off. Blossom just straight up admits they want a gender-neutral Olympics. You know what that means, right? Goodbye, women's sports. Hello, men taking every single gold medal. These activists keep screaming about equity and inclusion, but somehow they always land on policies that erase women. Amazing how that works. The entire point of sports is competition, and competition is only fair when there are categories, like weight classes in boxing or age divisions in youth sports. But sure, let's just throw all that out the window because it hurts Blossom's feelings.
Completely insane.
This country was built on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And
exactly. This is why that's so nuts.
That does include cis women like.
And you know what you would do?
Hello?
You would exclude all women from winning medals. Well done.
That's not true. That is not true. Can we talk about Leah Thomas? Now, I bring up Leah Thomas because Riley knows her very well. I bring up Leah Thomas because the reality is, yes, she won some games, but Leah also lost some games to cis women. So there are some cis women who are faster than Leah. There are some cis women who are stronger than Leah. And again, when we talk about genetics, there are some cis women that have natural higher testosterone levels than trans women. That's why some of them may look more masculine. Iman Khalif had to experience that transphobia, which, by the way, transphobia affects all women. And now that Trump has excluded trans women from playing in sports, all women are going to be subjected to rigorous tests to make sure that they're not trans. And that does include cis women. I don't care how feminine they look. You could potentially be subjected to these rigorous tests because Donald Trump took his peanut head, red, orange behind and signed an executive order that he doesn't even know anything about. He's a convicted felon, 34 felonies, right? We also need to be focusing on letting convicted felons in this country vote since we elected a convicted felon, right? There's so much more work. The economy is tanking here in America.
All right, Riley.
Gas prices are high.
Okay.
Why is Trump focused so much on trans people?
Because he wants to preserve the integrity. Because
guess what?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, Blossom. Because he's up at. I'll tell you why, Blossom.
I'm a woman.
Hang on, Riley. Hang on, Blossom. Here's why. Because he's up against complete lunatics like you who think it would be right to have a gender-neutral Olympics. A gender-neutral Olympics is the most insane thing I've ever heard from any trans activist in history.
are
Lunacy.
exactly why
Well, you
Donald
haven't
Trump
met me.
won
Well, you haven't
and
found that
on
until you
November
met
5th.
me. I'm not your average trans woman, in case you
Exactly
didn't
why
notice
Donald
that.
Trump
I'm not
won
your
and
average
on
trans
November
woman.
5th.
Riley.
People like Blossom are exactly why Donald Trump won on November 5th. People, I believe,
Oh,
of course,
girl,
people
please. Girl, please.
Donald Trump,
Donald Trump
the
rigged the
American
election,
first
which is
Amendment,
why
to
he's
embrace
sitting in
his
office
Can
now.
we mute
And he's
this?
sitting up
This
there
is the
booty
most
clapping.
ridiculous
Yeah,
thing I've ever seen.
mute Blossom, please, because she can't stop talking. Riley, you respond.
People turned out, I believe, in masses to the polls on November 5th to embrace Donald Trump, to embrace the America First agenda, to embrace his cabinet picks. But more so, I believe people turned out to the polls to reject absurdity. And that is exactly what the past 30 minutes have been on this program, Piers, is totally, entirely, and thoroughly absurd from top to bottom. Saying there should be a gender-neutral Olympics?
I know.
Are you serious?
Madness.
Do you also believe, Blossom, that we should combine the Paralympics and the Olympics? I would love to hear an answer to that.
Okay, I'll ask her. Bring back Blossom. Blossom, should we combine the Paralympics with the regular Olympics? Have them all compete with each other?
I mean, why not? And to go back to Riley's point to
why
that
not?
last
Yeah,
point.
okay. You are completely insane.
Let's
Oh my
go back to that last point.
Yeah,
No,
so
because
no
she
Paralympian
actually
would win a
said
medal.
something that I wanted to respond to.
So no Paralympian will win a medal. So your diversity, equity, and inclusion
people
turns
went
out
to
to
the
be
polls
unequal
because
and
they
doesn't
wanted
include
a better economy.
any Paralympian
People
or any
went
woman.
to the polls because they want
Oh my
prices to
gosh.
come down. People went to the polls. They went to the polls to vote because they had every right to.
Yeah, and they
I
voted for
just wanna
Donald
make sure
Trump.
I
And you
clear
know
that
why?
up.
You know
When
why
we
they
talk
voted
about-
for Trump?
They did not. Donald
Because
Trump rigged
people
that
like you have
election,
turned this
honey. I don't
debate
care
into a
what y'all
total
say.
farce.
Donald Trump rigged that election. Donald Trump does not even have the capacity to even run
Okay,
this country.
mute Blossom
That's
one
why
more
he's
time
such
because
a-
I want to thank Riley. Thank you, Blossom. Riley, thank you for engaging in this in the best way you could have done. I think when we have somebody who, with a straight face, says that the answer to this debate is that we have a gender-neutral Olympics and we allow Paralympics and the Olympics to morph into one event, and says this is about DIE, when in fact what it does is it removes any equality for Paralympians or women, so no disabled people competing would ever win, and then women wouldn't win either more than about 2 or 3 medals, because we all know that's why they separate the sexes. If that is DIE at work, that is why DIE has been a travesty. DEI, I'm sorry. It would be a travesty. So, Riley, thank you. Congratulations on getting this over the line. Hopefully, we'll bring some sanity and equality and inclusion back to sport, which is what we want. Bring back Blossom.
Girl, shut your butt up, Miss Thing. Miss Tommy Lauren looking girl. Go on.
Miss
Go
Tommy
on.
Lauren looking girl. Well, funny enough,
Tommy Lauren is
I'm about to have Tommy
I think
Lauren on the
Tommy
show,
Lauren is
actually.
beautiful.
Tommy Lauren reject. Go on over there somewhere.
Ad hominem. That's
you were
all the
saying,
left
Piers?
has. They have violence
What you
and
want
they
to say,
have
Piers? Miss Thing, go
slanderous,
on.
petty personal
Go on over there
attacks.
and
No,
advocate.
also, you realize you
go
make
on over
every
to
single
Donald
trans
Trump.
person, every single trans
Yeah.
activist look bad.
You do,
Every
yeah.
single one of them.
You know what?
You make them all
I
look
represent
terrible.
myself. I represent myself, and what I'm doing is facing off with fascists and racists on live air, and I'm okay with that. in my
Fascist,
opinion.
racist, and
Unless there's a
transphobe.
dry spout on
Yeah.
Piers' show,
I
I can
said
guarantee
what
you
I said. I'm
likely will
sorry.
not be
Fabulous.
invited.
I can say, Blossom, I do want to congratulate you. Seriously, Blossom. You have been, without a shadow of a doubt, the maddest trans activist I've ever had on the show. Congratulations.
Oh!
Riley, thank you very much. Thank you,
Piers.
Blossom.
Coming from you, that's a compliment.
That's it. I'm going to go and have a
Thank
cold
you,
shower and
Piers.
calm down.
Well, that was a train wreck. Blossom embodies everything that's wrong with modern activism. No logic, no facts, just emotions, and shouting about conservative propaganda. And the best part? This is the exact kind of insanity that's making regular Americans turn back to common sense. But what do you guys think? Should the 2026 Olympics be gender neutral? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like if you enjoy sanity, and don't forget to subscribe for more. See you in the next one.